Good morning and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim and I am your hostess for this little chatty podcast about knitting and spinning and dyeing of yarn, plus a little bit about my grandchildren and my children and whatever else pops into my mind. This is, what is today? October 9th, and this is episode 135. Wow. You can find me online as Napier's Knits on Ravelry. That's my homepage. And then we have a podcast page, Naturally Kim's Knitting. And there's all kinds of little knit-alongs or questions or whatever you might want. Then, let's see, you can find me on Etsy as Napier's Knits. Yes, I have yarn there. Instagram, I'm knittin_Kim. YouTube, Blogger, and WordPress, I'm Naturally Kim's Knitting. Anyways, I mentioned knit-alongs. Well, we do have an ongoing knit-along right now. I opened a new page for it last week, and it's for finished objects in October. That way it makes it easier for me to keep track of things. Now, excuse me, I'm going to get real close here. Yikes, sorry. I do apologize. That's not very nice, but for the first 10 entries, I have one prize that I give. And then for any more in increments of 10, I add prizes. So if we have from 1 to 10 entries, I will do random number generator and find a winner. And the first prize winner will be these lovely mini skeins that were donated by Fizona, sorry. Then after that, I will add prizes as needs be. Now, you could be number 13, and if I draw that number, you could win these. It's just which one I draw first gets the mini skeins. Okay, then another knit-along that we have going on, and I'm hoping people are trying to do it, because I love her patterns, is a knit-along for Maylas Knit Corner on Ravelry. She has some lovely mittens and fingerless mittens that you can choose from, such as those. I love those. And she has even more on her website. I'm just showing you a few of them. Give you an idea, because if you haven't started that, that is going on through, I got to get my dates right. That was the September, October knit-along. If anybody needs more time, let me know. If you are working on it, I will still accept your entries at the end of the month, because I want to show Myla that her patterns are appreciated. Now, I also have on the Ravelry thread, Ravelry page, podcast page on Ravelry, I'm sorry, a thread where you can put ideas for, or suggestions for knit-alongs, whatever, designers that you might want to do knit-alongs or craft-alongs with patterns, just any suggestions. We have had some wonderful ones, and I'm writing each one of them down, I'm numbering them, and then, using my good old random number generator, I'm going to choose one of those every time. Now, this isn't going to start till January, because starting in November, I like to do my knitting for others knit-along. And of course, those projects can't be started before November 1st, and they have to be done by December 31st. But I like to do that. That's something I've done since I started the podcast, and I just like doing that. Now, those items could be for charity or whatever, but we're not going to worry about that till November. And don't forget the finished object knit-along. I say it every time, but you guys are so creative. When I sit here, I feel like I'm talking to family and friends, and I wouldn't fib to any of you. Your creations are beautiful. So please make sure to put them in for any of those. Anything that you have finished, go ahead and put pictures in the finished object knit-along. You might win. You might win those skeins. You might win something else. Who knows? Okay, let's see. What else? Oh, on my needles. I had to reach over for this. I have to make sure to get the right side too. I have it upside down. This, I have been working 2 to 3 squares a day, and this is my daughter's temperature afghan for the year of her birth, and I have a mistake. Huh, I just noticed that. Anyways, I will have to fix that. Yes, there's a lot of honey in there. There was a lot of average temperatures the same. And there's a couple of the beautiful pink, and then we got some greens coming up. And so lots and lots of beautiful colors. And this is how long it is right now. So happy about that. It's coming along nicely. I'm not sure if it'll be a full length afghan, but I'm hoping that if they can't use it, their kids will use it or whatever. Then I have, of course, socks. Going into Friday. Friday night is date night. I always joke with my husband how I'm always working on heels on date night. It's a night where he doesn't watch TV the rest of the week. So on Friday nights, we've been watching a documentary show about World War II in color. And then we've been watching, oh, we always watch Star Trek. I can't end my evening with World War II in color because it's just a little bit, I like the history of it, but I just, with it being in color, you see a lot of gore. So we end with Star Trek, the original series. And that brings back memories of my husband, the Trekkie, when we were first dating. Well, I guess we were engaged. And they would have Star Trek on like at 8 o'clock, or sorry, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, or sometimes midnight, and we would stay up so we could watch 2 episodes of Star Trek. I think they had 2. I usually fell asleep before we got through them all, but he was always awake. So anyways, all that to say, I've been working on heels Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I finished it yesterday. That can't be. Friday I did 2 heels, and I said I will never do 2 heels in the same day again because the numbers, I could do 2 heels, but I couldn't add a third because after a while my mind is going, wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I doing? So over the last 4 days, I got 5 heels done. So this is my spread your wings pattern. As you can see, there's a little wing thingy there. I get so confused when my camera's shows me backwards on the screen. So that is my spread your wings, and of course I got 1 heel done. Ta-da! And I've got, it would be funny if I missed it and didn't do it. There's my 2nd heel done. Ta-da! Now I haven't gotten far beyond that, which I'm that's a love it, hate it pattern because I changed it a little bit after I started, and I like it better this way, but I've been doing this pattern for so long that I just have to keep myself going on it. Like I said, I like the pattern, and it's an easy pattern. I just want to do something else. But I told myself you're not doing anything else until you get these socks done. That is a Christmas gift. Sorry, this is Pure Leaf Tea House Wild Blackberry and Sage. I should tell you what I'm drinking if I'm going to drink it. Then, another Christmas gift sock. Now, remember, I finished the 1 sock on Gale's sock blank. The Hawaii or Aloha? I have to look again. And I got the heel done. So there's the 2nd one. This is also a Christmas gift. Oh my goodness. Got so many things. Sorry, that's an annoying voice, I know. My socks for the soup kitchen. There's 1 heel. There's the whole sock so far. And I got 2 heels. So 5 heels in 4 days. Not too bad. So those are my scrap yarn. Yeah. Never mind. Then, where's the band? If you remember, if you were watching way back in May, my grandchildren sent me a box of yarn. And I was making hats out of them. Then my cousin sent me a whole box or 2 boxes of yarn. And so I've been working back and forth. Well, it's Corone cupcakes time. Ta-da! And the yarn is Tutti Frutti. Look at the yarn. And it comes with the pom-pom. And I started this last night, so I really didn't get very far. This is the band. I'll be starting on the hat before long. I just was sitting there last night thinking, okay, I finished my last heel. I really need to work on a hat. I don't know what my doggy's hearing, but she thinks she needs to bark, so excuse her. Excuse her. She's not barking yet. She's just woofing. Okay, so that's that. Then there is my garden gnome hoodie that I'm making for my granddaughter. And let me tell you, this is going to be a perfect outdoor in the cool weather type of sweater. And when I get it done, I'm going to try to put a cat's face on the chest or on the body of it. So you can see this is where the arms are going to go. And this is my homespun yarn. I've noticed I didn't dye it all evenly, but I think it's beautiful. So this is for Genevieve, and she wanted a kitty cat sweatshirt to replace her kitty cat sweatshirt that she outgrew. She is growing, which is good. They should be. I should tell you that's my hand-dyed, hand-spun merino nylon yarn, and I'm using size 4 and size 7, which is 3.5 millimeter and 4.5 millimeter needles. And the Garden Gnome hoodie is by the Knitting Expat Design. I love her work. Mina Philipp. Oh, so talented. Anyway, so that's everything that's on my needles. Wow. I do not have anything that I finished this week because I was too busy working on my heels. And I did tell you last week that I'd probably have my knit crates order by today, or by, I figured I'd get it last weekend. Well, they had a shipping hiccup, and they just sent it out either late last night or this morning. So I should have it by next podcast, but not yet. Now, on my Naturally Kim's Knitting podcast thread, or R, because it belongs to all of us, there, like I said, there's a place to put craft along ideas, and then there's a place for questions for me. And then I also want to let you know, because I am an affiliate with Knit Picks, that I put a link, and I let you know what yarns they have on sale every month. And this month it is the Mighty Stitch. 20% off Mighty Stitch, and they have a worsted weight, a bulky, and a super bulky, and they're all $3.19 per skein. I love the colors. I just can't buy yarn right now. Speaking of which, oh, my resolutions haven't changed any. Speaking of which, this is a time when I'm going to share my grandchildren. I put pictures at the beginning of my grandchildren, and last week, I think it was on Saturday, I just happened to text my daughter, say, how are you? How are the kitties? And she said, we just got back from the pumpkin patch, so they are exhausted. So I have a picture of a Genevieve who's all spread out on the sofa, and I have a picture of Tobias riding on the hay wagon. And yes, his hair is really that curly. Yes, his hair is that blonde, and it's that long, and it's beautiful. You know, both of them, it's amazing when you see them side by side, because Genevieve has the beautiful straight blonde hair, and he's got all these curls. Anyway, so that's what they were doing last week on Saturday. But then Sunday, there's a picture of my granddaughter in the dress she wore as Flower Girl and the shoes. And they're at Lambtown in Dixon. And I've been able to go to that the last few years, but with the wedding and everything, October was not in the cards for me to go out there. But they went. And Molly texted me and said, so what's on your wish list? I told her any beautiful roving, or if Genevieve finds fingering weight yarn, her dress that I made her, the Nahid by Knitting Expat Designs, she learned you do not ride a bike with a dress that length. And she put great big holes in it. So I'm going to just, I wouldn't be able to repair it and do it justice. So I'm going to redo it. And if they didn't find yarn for it, then I'm going to use my Genevieve Penelope variegated yarn and do a dress out of that for her. So yes, that's my grandchildren's story. I've got to find a project for my grandson now because this will be 2 projects for my granddaughter. He doesn't ask for things. And I don't really want to make him a bunch of things that he's not going to like. I should have had him looking at things when he was here, but I don't know. He likes, you know, it's not like Genevieve where she always loved purple and pink, and then red was added, I think, last year. And she has said his favorite color is blue, and Molly told me that he always kind of goes towards blues. But I don't know. He hasn't told me yet. So I want to find out what color he likes, and I want to find out what he would like. So I may send a few patterns to my daughter and say, okay, after I finish Genevieve's dress, he's next in line. What would he like? I may have to do that. Send them to Ravelry and say, okay, look at children's designs, or, you know. Anyways, that's about, oh, I should show you the yarns that are still available on my Etsy store, knittin_Kim. Like I said, I took the Genevieve Penelope out because I'm using that for a dress. But I do have that beautiful, sorry, I do have some beautiful yarns there. Cloudy Day, Wildflower, Midnight Journey, and Tobias. So those are still on. Those are still in the store. $18 is gain plus shipping and handling. I'm sorry about that. For $18, I can't pay shipping and handling. I wouldn't make anything on it. So, anyways, I think that's it. My goodness, how this has been a fast little podcast. But by the time I add the song at the beginning and the, you know, all the little things, it'll probably be 20-25 minutes long. And when I don't have a lot to say, there's no sense in just gabbing and gabbing and gabbing. So, I'm going to end it by saying I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope all your craftiness is successful without any mistakes. But if you make mistakes, I hope they're easy ones to correct. I love you all. Big, big hugs. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.